This is non-zero probability. What are the chances of being born? I was thinking about that. You ever think about like what the odds are of whatever you call this? What are the odds of this happening right now? So what are the chances of being born? What are the odds that we are here together today? Forget about the fact that we're here. What are the odds that we're here, whoever's here live or coming across this video or listening to my podcast? What are the chances that we're here today? So after the hypothesized, right, because we don't really know, after the hypothesized origin and life of life and species, thousands of years, potentially millions of years in evolution, including your ancestral line, eventually giving rise to you and I. Like, what are the odds of that? You know how the process takes place. What are the chances of being born in general, and thereafter the chances that we are here together today? So that comes from a place of gratitude. I carry around this gratitude rock for God, probably almost 15 years. I've lost it several times, but it keeps coming back to me. I carry it in my pocket just to remind myself of present moment. Gratitude is a super highway to the present moment. And that's what I have gratitude for today. It's not just being alive and having the 24 potential hours ahead of me. It's just recognizing how insane it is that I'm alive and that I'm here and I'm wearing this red hat and speaking to you today. And it gives me this amazing appreciation for the undetermined amount of time that I have before I expire. And also this moment right now that I'm here with you live. So when you folks check in and give me feedback, those are positive feedback loops, because it just reminds me that we're here together in this moment, sharing this moment. And I think a lot of people don't understand how valuable that is. So that's why I say things like that. So we're here together today. So this unveils the idea that you and I and this very moment is nothing short of a miracle. So then I woke up to the similarities between moving from unconscious to conscious. This is another thing I was thinking about. The similarities. Think about this. This is just writing exercise. This is what I call my warm up. I was thinking about the similarities between moving from unconscious to conscious, eyes closed to eyes open, and that of a sleeping limb waking up with pins and needles. Have you ever woke up or maybe sat on the toilet too long or something like that and noticed that your limb is asleep? And then the first thing that happens is the blood flow comes back and it gets pins and needles, but there's like this transitional process. So it's very interesting just to recognize that you don't just snap in and out of consciousness. There's a period of transition and challenge that requires a choice, right? To get up and walk around on that sleeping limb and accept and move through the pins and needles, right? So let's break the spell today of the typical. I love that. Non-zero probability. Are you open to the fact that everything carries what is known as a non-zero probability, because simply we have not yet assimilated a fraction of our brain's capacity to perceive and know anything as definitive. So that's what it means. We have not even, we don't even know what we haven't done yet, right? We're moving so fast and technology's moving so fast. We have no idea how far we're going to be in a day, a week, a month, a year, 10 years, a century, who knows? So we're just broaching that. So non-zero probability means, although it's likely improbable, think about the things that you assume are likely improbable. Like when you look into the future, it could be your potential, or it could be something that just doesn't make any sense how it could come to fruition. So that's what it means. Non-zero probability means, although something is likely improbable, it's not out of the question. That means non-zero probability, right? If you said zero probability, it means no chance at all. So the idea of moving through this day open and curious to possibilities and potential, it means carrying a non-zero probability. I won't count anything out. So reminder that improbability the idea of something that you say is improbable, stems from that which we claim as the known. I like to live in the unknown, but the things that we claim as known are just things that have already been assimilated. Like if you think something's probable, you're basing it on some form of something that has already been assimilated, or at least qualify as predictable. Like sometimes we feel that something is predictably probable, based once again on that which we know, meaning like we can take some things that we know now and say, well, if we look at this, chances are, you know. So what's really cool about that is, and why this is live show. Hold on one second. I'm going to take a sip. It's so funny. That's one of the cool things about live is it's live. When I do my sub 5 minute podcast, it's like, wow, your voice sounds so good. No, this is live. So why this is worth considering, this idea, and remaining open to, well, here it is. It sends a message to all humans, you and I, that are just mysteriously here together today. Sends a message to all humans that anything is possible, just like your parents said. I don't know if your parents meant it. I think they just wanted to, well-intentioned, give you, confidence. I think that's the most important thing that we can do. But it sends a message to all humans that anything is possible, and that which we think is impossible is based on the fact that it just hasn't been done yet. So one word comes to mind when I think about this: iPhone. Okay. Another comes to mind: the internet, or perhaps an airplane or rocket that can now land on its own. Right. So just go back and just find out when people thought that that was improbable, that carried a zero probability. Right. So now, because of those things, there's non-zero probability about many ideas. Like, just, do you think that it's possible? Do you think there's a non-zero probability that we could live on Mars or any other planet? Right. So because of certain things, it expands. It's like the 4 minute mile with Roger Bannister. So as we embark on the next steps into the improbable, so that's what we're doing today. We're embarking on the next steps of what we deem improbable or probable, becoming probable, right? As we embark on the next steps of improbable things becoming probable. So that's the openness. It's like, say, anything's possible. So something that I think is improbable right now probably is going to be probable. Who am I to say what's not possible? I mean, what I find interesting about all this stuff I talk about with programming, we all have our core values and principles and philosophies that are based on things that some other people taught us. You look at religion or political views or anything like that. You didn't come up with that stuff on your own, right? And also, you can get two people in a room that are completely convinced that they're right and the other person is wrong. So there's the groundwork right there for the openness to being open. But we're moving into this reality where we're starting to recognize that improbable things can become probable. Then once that takes place, then they become reality or the new norm. Remember that those crazy ideas, here's what I want you to know, because this feeds into journaling. Remember that the crazy ideas that you have in your head, or that I have in my head, that sound interesting and probable to you, they sound probable to you inside, and they sound cool. But then as soon as you fact check them with what you deem as probable, that's when you refuse to write it down, right? Or share it with other people. Well, why do you think they say here's to the crazy ones? Because the crazy ones talk about stuff that's improbable, that's abnormal, but also extraordinary. Super cool. So those are the very ideas that will one day be accepted as the new normal by others, accepting your right now thoughts of improbable, zero probability, right? Moves to non-zero probability. But then once they're executed and they become reality, people will view them in the future and carry their concepts of what is probable and improbable. So it's just, rinse and repeat. It's this never ending cycle. So what is it that you think is improbable today? And Identify why you think it's improbable. Go back and identify that you're checking something that has happened or assimilated and deciding what's probable. I mean, will humans fly one day? Of course we will. I mean, who's to say that we can? I mean, look what we're doing right now. I mean, this video, this live video, this microphone in front of me and all that stuff, go back and ask somebody what they think about that idea back in the past. So dream big, folks, right? And don't just dream big, write it down and share it with me and share it with others. Inquiring and open minds want to know. Make sense? Love and appreciate you. It's Friday, and I'm not going to lie to you. When you commit to doing Mondays through Fridays at 7:30 a.m. Eastern, and you hold yourself to that, Saturdays look really cool, right? And I'm at the place right now where I still wake up at 4:30 in the morning on Saturdays, but I just don't, go into my whole. I do my writing and reading and stuff. For those of you following along with that, it's programmed. It's part of my routine. It's like breathing. It's like seeing. Um, but I do take a little bit of a chill on the exercise, so I'm doing that 5 days a week. So that's fun, right? A nice relaxing morning. So love and appreciate you all. I will be back Monday at 7:30 a.m. Eastern. We are going to be moving soon and in transition and moving to South Africa. So don't know what to expect with that transition, but any morning that I have a mic in front of me and a breath in my lungs and a beat in my heart, I will be here with you. Love and appreciate you all. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you next time.